The first person in our team that I'd like to introduce you to tonight before we actually start the formal proceedings is Tammy Quilliam. Tammy has joined us on the front reception as a receptionist and patient liaison officer. Really key person in the team, because often the first person that you're going to speak to on the other end of the phone when you're calling, whether it's to make an appointment or to ask any question that you might have about the process, about a procedure, about what to do next, is with our front reception staff. So really key people for you to get to know. Tammy, I've actually known for a number of years. Please make Tammy welcome. So first of all, Tammy, we met in around about, was it 2004?
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about how we first met and what your relationship was at that stage with Weight Loss Solutions Australia?
I actually presented myself to one of your seminars. I came along with my husband, and it took 2 seminars for us to really absorb a lot of the information, and there was a wealth of information from patients, information from staff, information from surgeons, and we took that away with us and really processed it and knew that it was the correct thing for me.
So for you, how far apart were those 2 seminars that you attended?
A month.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
And the second one you found was more reaffirming for you?
Yes, actually the second seminar that we attended, actually my husband was blown away with one of the patient's own testimonies, and to this day, 10 years on, that is something that he has never forgotten. It made an impression upon him. He wanted me to be healthy. I was in a very, very bad state. I was 153 kilos and a lot of issues that were preventing me from exercising, a lot of issues that were preventing me from going forward and leading a healthy life. And attending the seminar really gave me the encouragement that I needed to step forward, because it was very overwhelming. It felt daunting to go through something that it's not an easy life choice to make, because there is a lot of changes that you need to apply. Been the best thing I've ever done.
We don't want to give away too much, because Tammy's actually going to share her story a little bit later on tonight and tell you all about her own personal experience. But it's been a fantastic journey, and I think, you know, fantastic to not only watch your personal journey, but to have that ongoing relationship, first of all, with you as a patient. And here we are 11 years later, and you've just joined our team recently. Yes. Which is really exciting. A great benefit to any patient as well, because you can talk to someone on the front desk who's been there, done that, and is stood in your shoes. So I think that's an enormous advantage and a quality that you should really embrace when you have the opportunity. If you've got a patient-related question that's really personal to you, then I think it's awesome that patients can actually pick up the phone and chat to you. And it might be something about, how did you feel about this particular food? Or I can't eat grapes, what about you? You know, I think that's really awesome that patients can connect with you like that.
And I like that connection. As a patient, it was fantastic. I had people that I could call upon. I had staff members I could talk to. I never ever felt in any way that I was isolated. I never felt that I had to struggle on my own. And what we offer here is support. It's ongoing support. It's not temporary. It's not you just have your surgery and then you go on your way. No, you have continual support. And coming from a patient point of view, it's the best thing.
And I think for me as well, that's a really critical point to just keep reinforcing for anyone who's watching from a distance position, that support is available. It's also really important that with every appointment you have, whether it's with your dietitian or psychologist, if that's a Skype consultation, that you take that on board to actually make your next appointment. Stay engaged and make those appointments, because the more you do, the better value you'll get out of the program. We can't always be there ringing you to say, have you made your next appointment? You've got to actually be involved. We're your team, but you've also got to take that responsibility. So just one of those things that I want to really stress to anyone who's watching from a long distance away, that connection is vital, but stay engaged and stay a part of the team. and work with us so that we can provide that support with you ongoing. If you don't have Skype, I really strongly recommend it. I personally think that Skype's probably the best way for you to have those appointments, because you feel as though you're face to face with your consultant. You know that the dietitian, for example, if you're booked in to see her on any particular day, that she's not doing something else, writing a report or on Facebook. Her time is dedicated to a consultation session with you face to face, and that's why I actually really like Skype. So if you don't have Skype set up, it's not hard. It's free and such a great way to maintain that strong opportunity for ongoing support and access all of your appointments. I don't want to give too much away about what your presentation's going to be about later on, but maybe you can just give a little bit of insight into what people are going to hear from you later on tonight.
Many amazing things. I have had a journey, many surgeries, but I have many amazing things to share.
Maybe you should stress that those surgeries have not been in relation to complications.
No.
They've been the icing on the cake.
Yes, I have had no complications with my surgery at all. The other surgeries were corrective, and when you do get to a point where you are very, very overweight, and I was very, very obese, the weight loss that I've undertaken, obviously it ended up with a lot of excess skin that I've had to have removed. And these surgeries, again, they come at a cost, but at a good cost. They're things that give you self-confidence. They're surgeries for me that helped me to feel more of a whole person, not just somebody that's lost a lot of weight, but I could start seeing the person that I felt, and it's been a good journey.
That's fantastic. What about, just one question, Tammy, what about mobility? You know, when you've lost so much weight, how does that affect your ability to exercise? Because I'm a big believer in how important exercise and movement is for all of us.
Well, I was always a very fit person, and then unfortunately through injury gained a lot of weight, and it did prevent me from exercising. But when I had my surgery, as soon as I was given the all clear, if I just took 1 minute to walk up the road, I made sure I did that. And then I stretched it a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit further, and eventually it just became a time where I could just feel in myself that I was getting better. I was improving, I was feeling healthier, I was able to get out in the fresh air, not just sit around. And now I very rarely sit down. Probably the most I sit down is here at work.
Yeah, sure.
So it has given me a whole new life. It's given me a fresh start. I really enjoy just moving, being fit, being healthy, being young as I am, and I have a huge appreciation now for just being a person that really suffered and couldn't move around, to now not worrying about fitting in a seat, going into a room and thinking, oh, there's arms on that chair, I'm not going to fit into that chair. Being a person now that walks around a shopping centre and not have thoughts in my head and always be battling thoughts and thinking, oh, they're staring at me, they're making nasty comments, and you know, all of those things. It frees up a lot of chatter in your head, and it gives you confidence.
That's fantastic. Love it. And please stay with us, because the most valuable presentations that you will have the opportunity to hear from tonight are definitely from Tammy and the other patients who we are looking forward to introducing you to shortly. I'll share one little story with you now before we get going. We had a patient who came in to see us yesterday, and gorgeous story. She's lost over 40 kilos since she had her sleeve gastrectomy 6 months ago. And she's a lady who works as a nurse, so she's very mobile, very active at work. And she told us this story, how she was walking through the shopping centre and all of a sudden got this glimpse of a lady in the mirror who she looked at and thought, oh, that lady's very smart. And luckily she was by herself, as she said, and didn't remark, because she realised it took her breath away, but she was looking at her own reflection in the mirror. How amazing is that, that she was actually not even recognising her own self 6 months after her surgery, and she literally looks amazing, and it took my breath away to hear that as well. All right, thank you so much, Tammy. Looking forward to hearing your presentation soon and just sharing that with all of our people at home online.
Thank you for listening to me.